Hey guys, you're probably here because you want to know all about those dark circles and how to get rid of them. Well, I'm going to answer that question, along with many other questions in this week's Responding to Your Comments, where we look at fun questions, we look at science-based questions, but most importantly, we always look at the evidence. So what we're waiting for? Let's dive into it. Greg Fallon, dear Abraham, please do a video on how to remove dark circles. Greg, thank you for your comment, and of course I can do a video on this topic. I'm going to do it for you, I'm going to do it for everyone who's watching. So I really hope that you find this information helpful. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the basics. Dark circles. They can happen for many different reasons, some of which we really can't do much about. So for example, genetics, or the presence of melanin in your dermal layer, and our anatomy. And what I mean by anatomy is the natural groove that we have under our eye. Now the skin under our eye as well, it's very, very thin. And because of this, you can actually see the blood through it. So what happens is, the light from above reflects from the skin, from the blood, and it gives the presence of a darker appearance, much darker than it actually is. And bad lighting can really make the appearance of dark circles worse because of the reflection that we've just spoke about. So for example, if you've ever been in a film studio or you've seen like behind the scenes of anywhere where they're filming, they never have a big light source above the character's head because that reflection is not going to do you justice. So for example, think about it, at work or at home, there's always a light above your head. I mean, right now we're in a clinic room. This is not a film studio, so it's not really appropriate for filming because the lighting isn't going to be very good. So it will cast this shadow on me as well, because I've got two fluorescent lights above me. Now granted, I do have a light on the camera and another light here, so it will kind of help. But if you just imagine, for example, we can do a little test. This is the light. If this was above my head, now I don't know how this is going to look because I can't actually see that far, but I'm sure it will be casting a shadow and making the appearance of the dark circles worse. Okay, so that is a little film secret for you all, if you want to call it that. Let's move on. So that's the basics of why we get dark circles. Now let's move on to what you can do to help. But with some of these tips, I'm going to directly ask you questions so you can really think about it and see if it applies to you or not. So first of all, what is your diet like? And by that, I mean, are you eating lots of salty foods? Are you eating lots of processed foods? Are you eating lots of junk foods? Or, on the contrast, are you eating lots of fruit? Are you eating lots of vegetables? So really think about it, and if you're having an unhealthy diet, then it will contribute to dark circles. So you need to switch it up. You need to start eating more fruit. You need to start eating more vegetables. You need to have a healthy, balanced diet. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably now thinking, well, Abraham, what is a healthy, balanced diet? Because everyone talks about a healthy, balanced diet, but it's a bit complicated and it's a bit tricky, and yes it is, but don't worry. Abraham the Pharmacist has always got your back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a really useful link in the description below. It's to an NHS page all about how to get and how to have and maintain a healthy, balanced diet. Because talking about a healthy, balanced diet in a video is going to take ages. And I'm sure you don't want me to do that because you want me to go through all the tips. So if you want more information on how to maintain a healthy, balanced diet, please click the link below and read the articles I'm going to leave for you. Okay, so next question. Are you getting enough sleep? Look, as an adult, you need to be aiming for 8 hours of good quality sleep. Because if you're not getting enough sleep and you're sleep deprived, then the skin under your eyes is going to become pale, it's going to become dull. And do you remember those blood vessels that we spoke about earlier? Well, they're going to show more. And when they show more, they cast more of a shadow and they look darker. So your dark circles are going to get worse. So you really need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep as an adult, and if you're a child, you need to be getting more sleep. So it's more than 8 hours if you're younger than 18. I will leave more information about it in the description below. And if you do struggle to get to sleep, I did make a video about it not long ago. It's had a lot of views, it's helped a lot of people, and I talk about good sleep hygiene and how to get high quality sleep. So I'd highly recommend you watch that video if this is something that interests you. Moving swiftly on to the next tip, dehydration. Are you drinking enough fluids? Look, if you're not drinking enough fluids and you're dehydrated, your skin is going to appear more dull, and also, if you think of the anatomy of the eye, the skin under the eye is going to sink in deeper. What does that mean? Well, it means that that shadow that we spoke about right at the start is going to get worse because it's sinking in deeper, so it's going to appear much worse by the shadow casted, okay? So you need to make sure that you're drinking enough fluids. And I know what you're thinking, oh, how much fluids? How much fluids should I drink? Well, I'm going to tell you, 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. aimed for that. And remember, other drinks do contribute to your total water intake as well. I can't speak anymore. Okay, so how are you getting on? I hope you're finding this information helpful. We haven't finished yet, there's still more to come, but I thought we'd take a little breather, and maybe, if you have time, click that little thumbs up button to say, you know what, I'm enjoying this video. Actually, maybe leave a comment and say that too. I'm enjoying this video. I will enjoy reading that comment. So, the next thing that I want to talk about is sun exposure. This is something that not many people talk about, especially in countries where it's not sunny. Maybe in countries where it's sunny, you guys talk about it more, but for example, here in the UK, where it's cloudy most days of the year, or rainy most days of the year, we don't really talk about sun exposure much. So please remember this, that UV rays can penetrate through clouds. So if you live somewhere that's cloudy and always rainy, the UV rays can still pass through and damage your skin. This is a common myth that many people think, that they think, oh, this is only a problem in warm countries where it's always sunny. Over here, where it's always rainy and cloudy, we don't get the damage from the sun, but this is incorrect. Those UV rays pass through them clouds. And what that means is, it's going to damage your skin, and by damaging your skin, it's going to make it age, it's going to make it less elastic. So what's going to happen is those dark circles are going to become worse. So here's the solution. You need to wear a sunscreen every single day, one with UVA and UVB protection. Now, buying a sunscreen can be a little complicated, so I did make a video all about how to buy the best sunscreen from any chemist or any shop, and what to look out for and what ingredients to look out for so you're making the right choice. So if you haven't seen that video, I will leave a link to it up here for you guys. Also, please invest in some good sunglasses as well, as this can also help. Moving on to my next question. Do you smoke? And if you do, you really need to quit, because smoking, not only does it cause various different cancers and various different diseases, but it also makes dark circles worse. Drinking too much alcohol can also make dark circles worse, so what you need to do is calculate how many units of alcohol you're actually drinking and make sure that it's the safe recommended amount. Now, what I'm going to do for both of these topics that we've just spoke about, so smoking and alcohol, I'm going to leave some really useful links in the description below to certain NHS pages. The smoking one is going to point you to useful resources on how to quit smoking, and the alcohol one is going to help you calculate how many units of alcohol you're having per week, and then you can see if this is a normal amount or if you're having too much. Now, allergies, and especially eye allergies, can sometimes make dark circles worse too, and the reason for this is when we have an allergy, we release something called histamine, and the histamine causes the blood vessels to become inflamed and dilated, so more blood goes to the area. And if you remember the theory that we spoke about right at the start, having blood here and the thin skin and the shadow, all of these can make the dark circles worse. So a quick tip for when you do have an eye allergy, please do not rub your eyes. I know it's really hard, and I know it's a lot easier said than done, but if you're gonna rub the eyes, it's just gonna make it worse, and it's gonna increase the dark circles, it's gonna make it appear a lot worse. Now, the good news, Abraham the pharmacist, I've always got you back, always remember that. I did make a video all about allergies, eye allergies, allergy treatments, everything you need to know about allergies, probably about 6 months ago, 3, 5, 6 months ago maybe. It's a really useful video, so if you are someone who suffers from allergies, I'd highly recommend that you watch that video. As always, I'm gonna leave a link up here and down there for you. Thank you for the comment, Greg. I really hope these tips help you, and anyone who's watching, please really do think about the questions that I asked in this video. Think about it and reflect on it and see if any of them apply to you, and make those changes, and hopefully it will help with the dark circles. Now, if you have any of your own tips as well for dark circles, please do leave a comment below, because I'd love to read it, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this video will too. Also, if dark circles are still bothering you and it's still a problem, cosmetics can also be a really helpful option too. So it looks like we've run out of time again in this week's episode of responding to your comments. If I didn't get back to your comment or question, I'm really sorry. We are getting so many comments, so many questions these days, that it's very difficult to fit them all in one episode. So the best advice I can give all of you is keep on leaving those comments. Leave the comment after this video, leave the comment after the next video, leave a comment on every single video, and eventually, I promise, I will get back to you. Thank you for watching this week's video, and as always remember that you're awesome, and I will see you next week. Hey guys, thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure to click that like, follow, or subscribe button now to stay up to date with new weekly videos.